going on to the edge, and I understand that that was causing issues with the residents then.
Yeah.
I have presumed, as we haven't heard anything, that the contractor would have made good.
Yeah.
And obviously the making good, subject to all this rain and whatever we've had, has now caused the problem.
But it really is like that. It's really bad. But it doesn't go the 45, whatever it is, down centimetres, is it? With a pothole, they'll come and look at it, won't they?
Well, it sounds to me like the edge of the carriageway's gone.
Yes. Yeah.
The subplace underneath.
Yes. Yes, you know what you're talking about, so yes.
Again, can we invite to...
Yes, I'll speak to Highways and see if they can actually investigate.
If you put the right words in like that, then they know that you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, further to that, I go over the Knoll really very frequently. I use it. I went over today. If I go to East Brent, I've done it twice. I went over the other day and I hit some bump and I went down bang. I don't know where it was. But there's quite a lot of standing water on the road over the Knoll. It is on the verges. But clearly the road over the Knoll is deteriorating on its edges. I think it possibly needs somebody to go and have a look.
Andrea.
I just wanted to mention again that as you come down Burton Road, on the right hand side the horse box has reappeared on the junction. Is that Middle Street or is that?
Yeah, right outside.
So there's a horse box, big horse box right on the junction, 2 cars, and also the other side of the same junction there's 2 cars parked there, which I would imagine if you're coming out of there, the visibility must be very, very limited again.
Are you saying they're there all the time?
Yeah.
The horse box is there all the time.
Yeah.
I think
On the actual road or in there?
Yeah, he's
It's off the road.
It's off the road.
Yeah, but you can't build on the road, can you? You've got to be a metre away from the highway, so it's in between. It's on the edge of the highway, and but it's right on that corner.
I wasn't conscious of seeing it tonight. I'll have a look going home.
I've definitely seen it today.
Yeah.
I think I know where Andrew's talking about it. It's on the corner where the horse box is, and then cars have parked also opposite there. Well, what's happening is, I think someone's bought a cottage just down the road, and they are refurbishing it. And over this last week, cars have been over there like a rash, and I think someone must have complained because they were parked right on the corner. And so I think you'll find the workmen have parked their cars on that corner because one of the vans was full of builder's stuff and a car, and there was only one car outside the house that's being developed.
I know exactly where it is down, and I up to recently, they've also been parking either side of our beautiful sign, which Christine said to me, keep an eye on it because they might damage the sign. But today, there was only the skip and one car in the drive.
Yeah,
So they're all parking
it's on the corner.
Is it by Jubilee Room? I'm in the wrong area.
Down by East Ride.
You know, Nicky Bennett's cottages, little some.
Down by West Road.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's almost middle there.
Oh,
It's
yes, I
West
was
Road.
thinking Middle Street.
Yeah.
West
Just
Road.
before you get to the boundary sign.
Yes, yes, I
To the
know.
edge of Brent.
Yes, I know where you are.
There's the Tudory type
Yes.
house, and
I think there's somebody's bought it and then bought it out there
they're
and then just
gutted
gutted
it.
it.
Yeah.
He said motor mechanic. Still isn't a matter of the council anyway, because it's more to be policed.
We could bring it to the attention of the police.
I can mention PC Wills.
It's the parking that's the problem.
Because there's nowhere to park for them.
I'll
The trouble is they've got about 3 or 4 contractors in simultaneously.
send an email to PC Wills.
Okay, thank you. Anything else on highways? Right, moving on. Who did the village green?
I did. Would you like me to read it out? Right, okay. Yeah, well, try. The green, the ground's drying out and the grass is long, obviously, and it's ready for cutting, but obviously it is a little bit damp underneath. But that's the state of it. No rubbish seen on the green, and needs general tidying around the perimeter of the green, and under the trees to the left of the gate and under the shrubs. There are lots of, bits of wood that have fallen down and stuff. Play equipment appears to be in good order. The table with the seat needs restaining, and also the bench at the far end of the green. That needs doing as well. There is a stump which has obviously been a laurel, that's right. And it is, obviously it's starting to grow, and it sticks up. Okay, are they going to let it grow, or are they going to get rid of it?
What?
Because
Where is
there's
it?
a stump. It's to the right-hand side at the top. Yes.
We had them all cut down so that
But you'll
people
get
could
somebody
walk.
trip over that.
Ooh.
I was just asking the question really whether it is supposed to be cut down and got rid of it, or they're going to let it grow again. Because otherwise it needs the stump taking down. Anyway. Right. The car park. New white lining is completed.
It looks good.
Looks good, doesn't it?
Yes, it was very good.
You never mentioned Ryan's daffodils, which also look good.
Fabulous.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Toilet block. Ladies, the flush not working in the first toilet, and there's no hand wash or toilet roll.
Again.
Probably, yes. The floor needs cleaning. Dryer was working. Men's dryer was working. No hand wash. Extremely dingy in there. Yes, well that's all I can describe it as. The outside toilet block needs tidying, sweeping up, because there's all bits and pieces. And the mugger just needs tidying up around the edge of the netting. It's just where weeds have grown and they're all. Apart from that, it was okay.
I know the toilet block is not on the agenda elsewhere.
Well, it's here, that's why, because I put it under this area because
But we need to, I think, come to some idea what we're going to do with this damn toilet block, please. I think we have to bite the bullet, recognising that it's costing us at the moment £2,000 a year, as is, without doing anything to it. It's costing us nearly £2,000. So the question we have to face, I think, and I'm not saying we make a decision now, but we have to make a decision on how we want to proceed. Do we knock it down?
No.
No.
Can we knock it down is the question.
Yes.
I didn't think we could.
What?
I thought we had to keep it.
We sell it back to Sedgmore and say you can have it back, and they will say no, and then we'll say well, in that case we'll knock it down. That's I think one option. The other thing is a refurb, and if you refurb, I think you've got to go the whole hog. I know John has kindly gone out and got quotes for doing floors, but if you do a floor without doing other aspects, you just throw good money after bad.
Well, I think I quite agree with you, because not only is the floor to be done, and we have to decide what gauge to do with the building, and what do we need in the way of toilet facilities. I know Bella has suggested that we need at least 2 disabled loos, which I wouldn't disagree with at all. They can be unisex. That could well be accommodated in the existing ladies' loo. Then you're left with the men's loo, which is really disgusting. So that's going to be sorted out anyway. And I was talking to Owen today, and I believe that whichever of the plumbers is coming, he did say that he had cleared the blockage. He's got to take the floor. I mean, there are major decisions to be made on what we want to do. And apart from that, there are people in the village, not talking to me, but to other people, they say, well, you're going to paint the outside. So, there's a lot to be discussed.
Well, on this subject, a few years ago we spent an awful lot of money on the toilet, and especially the outside as well. Remember, it is only a toilet, it's not a palace or a home.
Yep.
And I think pouring a lot of money into it is a waste of our money. I think it could be improved. I mean, it's a king compared to what it used to be like. And I used to go and paint the graffiti out regularly. They got fed up with putting it on because it didn't last long because I painted over it. And I think minor improvements could be done quite simply. I'm not talking about disabled toilet.
No.
I'm just talking about general picture. I don't like the colour of the outside either. That's rather drab. That could be improved. But I think, don't forget, it is only a toilet.
I agree.
And who uses it?
Well,
not local people much, I should think it's passing traffic.
well, there is
I
that.
guess.
But equally, if
Surely
we
that's
have
where
a
it's there.
village, and I would hope that we all recognise that we're trying to promote our village as being a nice place to
I
be.
agree,
Mm.
but
And
I
people
think
come
there are
here.
much more worthy places to put our money.
Yeah, but there's also the consideration of health and safety. Colin?
I would agree with Brian. I think it's a very sensible place to start. I went down to Cornwall this weekend, and in some of these old villages there are public conveniences, and some of them have been, although shabby on the outside, have been done out on the inside with modern, up-to-date materials, making them certainly more a desirable place to enter. And I think we should look at possibly tearing it out and refurbishing it with some modern, up-to-date materials that are cleaner, easier to clean and user-friendly.
Okay. Andrew? Sorry, Colin.
I believe that the money that we should be spending on our village should be for the good of the village. Big villages don't use that toilet. Passing traffic can use the Fox and Goose. They can go to the garden centre. They can also go to the Red Cow, and there's also a toilet at the church. So if there was events going on there, if there was anything going on the village green here, there are actually toilets that are available here too. When you're talking about we spend £2,000 a year just to upkeep it, if you're talking about putting another £10,000 and we're actually not going to put another piece of play equipment, or we're not going to actually look at doing something to the benefit of our village, I feel we're pouring good money after bad, personally, and I think the toilet's had its day. You don't expect to find toilets in rural areas. There are public places with plenty of toilets. Gone are the days when you can't pop in and use a loo. And I think that there's certainly enough. You know, we're a very small village, and there is enough establishments that could fulfil that need without us supplying one.
Mr. Chairman, I take a slightly different view to Andrea on this one. I mean, when we looked at closing the loo the first time round, we got a lot of feedback from the village who did want to have it. Yes, there's a lot of passing trade that use it. A lot of the people like Postman and various others have it because so many others have gone. But it's also a village green which attracts families to come and play with children. They have picnics, and if they don't have a toilet facility to make use of, the danger is they will find somewhere else that they will go, and we'll be finding stuff behind bushes and everything else on the green, which is unsanitary. I tend to agree though with Brian in the sense that, as far as I'm concerned, it's a toilet. People expect to go there. They're not expecting to find us as the pucker toilet of the southwest. As far as I'm concerned, as long as they've got a facility which is generally clean and can be used without feeling it's unsanitary, then it's adequate. It does the job. And if we're going to spend tens of thousands potentially ripping it out and putting all the new in, at the end of the day, the people will be having the same facility. They still can go to the toilet, and we've got what to show for our money. So I would be keen for us to keep it as a facility, but I would not be keen to be spending a huge amount of money on it.
Rather than get a specialist contractor in, which obviously there could be, is it something that a general builder would be readily able to do? Because I think basically what we're doing is taking out all the toilet or the sanitary ware and replacing it. We're probably going to have to do something with the drains. And
I think that's fair enough.
The floor surfaces as well.
well, that and the floor and the seat and the walls and the
walls,
ceiling.
you don't want anything with them.
I think you should shut the gents down and have a unisex toilet
I think the unisex toilet is a much better idea.
in the ladies, and then have the rest of the storeroom.
Agreed.
Is it worth we trying to explore getting some? Going forward, we need to get some idea of how much we're talking about.
Yeah.
Because at the moment we're just plucking up numbers out of the air. So we need to explore it with some builders. Do we know any local builders that would be
Guy
able to
that
do
did
that sort of thing?
the outside.
I'm not sure he wouldn't be available. He's quite busy.
it's almost, it's more plumbing than anything else. I mean, you're talking about plumbing if you're talking about equipment. You're talking about decoration if you're talking about the actual decoration. Two different people probably.
Chairman, also, I mean, I've passed on to Owen the details of the people that Sedgemoor use for doing their refurbishment of toilets. But in terms of the unisex, which was talked about, again, I think before we jump at the unisex, we just need to see what people would be happy with. Because if you're turning up of a slightly dark evening, when the lights are on in there, you're heading in, and I don't think it's going to affect the bloke side so much, but you could well feel that ladies would feel suddenly vulnerable going into a toilet where they're in a closed space, suddenly coming face to face with a bloke coming out the loo. It makes it more of a, you meet someone inside rather than meeting them outside at the moment, if someone's going to try and make that way. But it's just something I think, like last time, if we're going to go down the route of doing something like that, I think we need to do a bit of sounding out of the village, because what we don't want to do is start doing something and then find we get completely castigated by the village who think we're doing something mad.
Well, I think before in order for people to make their own judgment, it'd be useful to have some idea of cost.
I do agree with that.
Colin?
Through you to Bob, is there anyone at Sedgemoor then that we can, if you like, meet with to discuss it, and like we do with the play area, and give us some ideas, give us some contractors?
I had a word with Sedgemoor after the last meeting just to say, we're thinking about possibly doing this, do you have anyone you could recommend? We've been down the route on some of the ones of a complete rip it out and start again, and it's been in the region of 20,000–30,000 pounds per loo. The alternative is they've got a contractor who's a local builder, in effect, does a lot of their work, that could do more of a dealing with the decoration and the refurb rather than a complete renewal. But they've given us the contact details for us to get in touch with.
No, I agree with it. Could you advise if there is a way likely to give grants for this?
Yes.
Public facility grants.
We can get that, I'm sure. Peter?
It wouldn't be a bad idea when you give your report next week, throw that into the egg basket.
But it is actually in the report to say we are considering...
There is another thing I was thinking about too. In the gents, you could shut down the urinal and just open up the stall.
Yeah, but we've all complained about the floor, the urinals falling apart, the ceilings they need something doing, the lights are poor. When you add it all up, you are talking of effectively refurbishing the whole thing.
Yeah.
To be honest, let's be blunt about it. If we can get a grant or monies, and there is another avenue that potentially Owen and I have talked about, but that's not for discussion tonight, but certainly I think we ought to need to think about grants, and I'm sure we can get a grant from somebody.
You need to knock down that wall, don't you, and have a door straight in the wall to stop your problem. Because if you go around to the public toilets, if you go to the car parking opposite Lidl's, you've got the door there straight in the side of the building, so you've got no problem with people coming in and out. But if you've got that wall in around, you're walking around and somebody's coming out and you're going in.
I think we need to think about getting Owen to... Who's I know Colin's volunteered. I'll have to get involved.
Well, we need to get together.
I'll get some grants.
Do we need to set up, as we've had a working group on other things, do you want to have a working group on this, on the toilet?
I think so.
I'm happy.
To get someone to
Yeah.
We'll come on.
Do you want to do it, John? Colin, right, sorry.
Is it your wish that you should have a working group, first of all? Is that you need to decide as a council whether you want to have a working group for this?
I think probably in the first instance we just make contact with these people and get some ideas, and then come back with the different options and ideas. Then we establish a working council. Just rather than have the cast of 1,000, just do it.
1,000.
Okay. All right, I'll leave that with me and I'll see if I can sort it out. Get somebody to come and meet up with you. Look into the toilets.
That might convenient.
I feel flushed.
Flush with success, we hope.
I've done all the jokes.
We'll go through the motions.
Not for a report from GB Sports, there was one or two little minor
There
issues.
were one or two minor issues. I don't know that they were overly significant, but nevertheless they were raising a couple of issues. The question is, do we want GB Sports to quote for putting those areas correct? Right.
I would say yes.
Which areas were they?
It was basically it was to do with some work on the there's a little post. There's a couple of small items. Do you know? I don't
On the equipment
report with
yes.
me. We need to. I mean, the thing is, what we need to do is get a quote from them. I think to put right what they've actually queried.
Yes.
And if we feel that we need another quote, then we can get another quote. I think what we always do is say to them, look, you've identified some issues. Can you please quote us for doing it? Put that quote in front of us. Make a decision whether we think it's reasonable. If it's not reasonable, we'll get another quote.
I think we all have to recognise, quite honestly, that if there is an issue with any of the play equipment, it's been raised on a monthly report. God forbid we have an accident and we do nothing, and seem to do nothing, our insurance company will just take us to the cleaners. So if there is an issue that's been raised, we need to resolve it.
Address it. Yeah.
Talking of that, what about the mugger and the weeds?
Right, I spoke to Sutcliffe. They did say that they would do one or two things. When they were next in the area, they would come and look at it. Or alternatively, they will try and provide me with some information as to how we can deal with it. And I've had neither yet. So I will follow that up again with Sutcliffe. But they seem keen to resolve it.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman, to butt in, but the guy from DCM Play Services, we talked to him about it, and he said the weeds weren't growing up through the membrane, they were actually seeds that drop down and put themselves in the top surface, and they can in fact be picked out. But that's the only way he suggested.
Didn't we have, sorry,
No, sorry.
didn't we have decision at the last meeting that we'd have a little group, a working group to pluck them out?
That's fine.
Plucking grass group?
When the weathers get out, we have. We're going to talk about the play surface later on, so we'll go into a bit more on that. Thank you.
Very good.
Flood mitigation. We're talking
Yes,
about flood.
apparently there's a bit of a problem down at Old Manor.
Oh, really?
We have talked about it.
Any other?
Any others?
No.
Any other areas?
This man, who's it, Colin, he's got a problem with the grid at
Church
Church Lane that we've got to,
Planking or a wood or something?
yes.
Yeah, Bella kindly emailed me with the problem, and I've had a look at it. There is a plank of wood across there, which I've asked Peter whether he'll give me a hand just to fish it out.
Where's it come from?
No idea, Bella.
That's the
But
question.
it's not stopping the flow of water.
Oh, it isn't.
No.
Oh,
No water now flows through the old way. It's all been diverted brilliantly underneath the road and down.
So does it need moving?
Well,
Oh, yes, it does need moving, yeah, because it'll just,
It will rot eventually.
yeah.
And you can find it on eBay.
Right.
On the
New
bottom,
surfboard.
at the bottom of Church Lane, by the green there, where the white posts are, the surface is absolutely covered in scum. I just wonder, would it be a health hazard or not?
On that,
Horrific.
that side of the house,
Yeah, at the bottom of Church Lane.
I haven't noticed that. Have you seen it?
Probably
Tremendous. I
pollution
was down, yeah, it looks horrible,
Yeah, it does look a bit,
doesn't it?
I'm not sure, it
I
could
just
be
wonder
runoff,
how we could
could be runoff of animals high up the knoll, because all that water that's
Yeah.
down there comes
Yeah.
from all the way up there, through the sheep and
Is it all
everything.
frothy? Is it kind of frothy?
No, it's just a horrible scum,
You
really.
shouldn't touch the watercress there now.
Okay. Noted, I think we have to say.
Noted.
Really?
Any reports from the who was at parish surgery today?
Myself and Bob. We had Morris Jackson
No, so.
came in, and Brian and Kim. Morris Jackson did raise the one-way system that was under consideration. although in fact he didn't raise it tonight, I thought he was going to. Yeah, probably. He just wanted to know more about what our proposal was and if it was a serious proposal or somebody had just thrown it in for. But anyway, he was quite concerned about which way he was going to go, where he was going to start, where he was going to finish. You can imagine all the different scenarios. And I did say it was very, very early stage. We haven't really discussed it. And obviously when we do, we'll obviously publicise. He did suggest that we had a BKN request for people to put their views on it.
Was he in favour or not, in principle?
In principle, he didn't have a problem with that, but as long as it was clear about what we were proposing to do. Necessarily.
I think we're talking about it later, aren't we?
Sorry?
We're talking about it later.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But anyway,
anything else? Police, I guess, didn't.
Police didn't come, no. Although I have sent an email today to PC Wills asking, because I had a chat with Bob, and we decided that we should really get them along more often than they are attending at the moment, which is nil. So we're rather hoping that if we could persuade them to come once a quarter, at least we then would know every quarter that we were definitely going to have some police presence there.
Yeah.
I haven't had obviously a response back from PC Wills yet, but as soon as I do, I'll let you know.
Okay. Right, Owen.
Clerk knows, just one issue. When we had our clerks get together in April, it was very apparent that a lot of parish councils, in fact all parish councils apart from ourselves, have an item on their agenda which is a report from the district and county councillor. Now, of course, historically, we've always had Bob here, and so therefore, really, Bob sort of provides us information as we go along. But we've never done that at this council. I'm just wondering what your feelings is about Bob updating as an agenda item on district and county matters. Things that we're not actually perhaps aware of.
No problem with that, as long as it's no problem with the county and central.
I mean, if you look at East Brent, Lymsham, East Huntsville, they all have a county council, district council report.
Presumably you do something for.
Presumably you give it to East Brenters.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
This is the only parish council I don't
I think
do a
they should
report
have
at.
it.
So
But is it something that you do which covers every parish, or do you do it? Is it specific to the parish?
what it tends to be is there will be items that are, say, cropped up over the last month at county, which would be fed back. So it could be the library consultation or the various other things that have cropped up recently. And then if there are specific things that relate to the parish that either I can report back, or as Peter said, that can be raised for me to take back somewhere else, then that's what I tend to do elsewhere. different parishes do it in different ways. Some do it at the public session at the beginning is when they ask me to do my bit. Others have it actually agendaed on the agenda for me to do a bit partway through. It's up to parishes what they do, but as I say, it's happy to do it if that's what number one.
I would suggest
you
it would be a good idea.
It'd be really
please.
interesting.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
So if you don't spend half an hour, you telling us what you can do.
Yeah, that'd be
Just
good.
25 minutes.
One of the things that's interesting from these trial meetings is there are just so many ways that people run their meetings. I mean, it's incredible. There's as many ways as there are councillors, of running. There doesn't seem to be any specific formats. It's actually what works for each individual council. I mean, the way we've done it seems to work for us, and I don't think there's any reason to change it. But if you've got any ideas of how we should agenda differently, then please shout.
Can you tell me how our council meets once a month? There are other councils who meet 4 times a year, is it?
Smaller ones do.
Yeah.
Smaller ones
How
like
many around here?
Chapel Ellison's one.
Yes, most of the ones that I am involved with are monthly.
Monthly, most of them.
Yeah, there's the odd ones like Chapel Allison.
Middleburn.
Even Middleburn tends to be either monthly or every other month.
Yeah. So, but as I say, this format we have is not in tablets of stone.
No.
It's an inherited one that basically follows the same format as the previous incumbent in this job, and it hasn't changed very much. So if anybody's got any other ideas about how to move it on, change it, whatever.
Can I use good engineering principles?
Do you make breakfast?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, 5 minutes?
Finance, right. There's quite a bit to cover on finance. We have, well, first of all, the first thing to do is agree on the statutory payments for 2018-19.
Yeah.
Every year at this time we have a number of payments which we agree as standard payments, which we don't have to necessarily go into detail on at each meeting, but we just agree on sort of an annual basis. And that is, in fact, clerk salary, Jason Mayer's contract, GB Sports, the Sedgemoor cleaning contract, the Sedgemoor dog bin emptying contract, and of course we've got the additional dog bin this year as well. So all of those rates I've identified in the email I sent out to everybody. I hope everybody got a copy of that. It's all fairly clear, and I don't think, doesn't require any particular explanation unless we want to ask any questions.
Can I ask, when they do empty the bins, the rubbish bins in the village, do they actually empty any bins that we have on the green?
Don't think we should.
Yeah.
Dogs. You're talking about dog bins?
No,
No.
I'm talking about
Rubbish bins. Oh, yes, yes.
And are they, because I was just conscious when I drove past East Brent this morning, there was a guy there going around picking up rubbish on their green, and he was from the Sedgemoor District Council. Should we expect that on our green? Or do we have to pay for it?
To be honest, no. The reason on that one is because actually the village green in East Brent is owned by Sedgemoor. It's not owned by the parish council.
That explains that. Thank you.
It came with the Red House Road development. So.
Thank you for the clarification. So can I have a proposal that we...
Can I just say one other thing? On the two items there, Jason Mayer contract and the Sedgemoor cleaning contract, at some point during this coming year, you may feel you want to get some alternative quotes. I mean, obviously Sedgemoor we've been using for a long time for our cleaning contract. It may well be that you feel that perhaps we should have a look to see whether there are any other alternatives that will do either a better job or a less expensive job. It's a matter for you really, but you know, I just raise that as something that you might want to consider later in the year. But at the moment, that's where we are with it.
We can have a look at that as part of the toilet block discussion perhaps.
So basically we need a proposer, seconder and
a proposer for
vote.
we pay those, John, seconded by Bella.
Okay.
All those in favour please?
If I just get Richard to sign that document to say that you've signed to say that the council have approved those statutory payments. Okay. Just moving on to payments. The first one, Bella, you need to.
That's standing down, first one.
Appreciation.
Yes, yeah, okay, that's fine.
So,
Okay.
that
So we need a proposal and a vote on the refreshments for the consultation event, £9.73 made to Bella. Are we all in favour of that particular one?
All in favour?
Right, Bella can come back in.
Thank you.
I put it on there first to make it easier. I don't know whether anybody picked up the deliberate mistake on the next one, but actually the Playing Field Association was on the last agenda. Did anybody pick that up?
No.
Well, it was on the agenda, but we never made the payment. So I put it on there again.
it was spelled properly.
Sorry?
It was spelled properly, correctly.
What was it? I see.
I'm just joking.
So we've got Playing Place Association. This is our annual subscription of £15. It is a recommended subscription. It's not it's a standard. We've all paid the £15 that they've requested. We've got the Eon Energy account for the toilet block of 3541. Class Spencer's allowance January to March 2018. And if anybody wants to see a copy of that, if you just pass that around, John, there's a copy there for everybody to keep in their file. And if you have any queries on anything, please just do let me know. Yeah, one of each, please. Yes, if you don't mind. Thank you. The Sedgemoor District Council dog bin installation, that's a new one down by the cider farm. That's been installed. People kindly sort of saw that being dealt with. And the Bristol Water account, up to March 2018, is a 6-monthly account, £155.77. So they're all the basic payments in addition to the statutory payments.
Have we got a water meter on the toilet block?
Yes, that's what we have.
We have.
It says On the account it says metered reading, so I presume they must be a meter or something. But I don't know. Perhaps there's something I want to find out.
Because the only reason I ask is if there isn't,
Yeah,
it might be cheaper to have it
to
metered.
have a meter. I'll find out from the water board on that.
We want to take the tops off the taps in.
Okay. So that's just briefly the summary of the expenses and allowance for January and March. Working from home. What we used to do, going back a few years ago, the way the clerks used to claim, they used to claim a percentage of council tax and energy use. This has now been superseded by a work from home allowance, a standard statutory allowance, which is paid to all clerks who work from a home base rather than an office. It makes it simpler, actually. We've then got the grant payments. Now, these were agreed last month. We've got Brent Knoll British Legion Memorial Stone work. We've got Brent Knoll St Michael's PCC footpath renovation, which we granted £100 to, and also World Child, which we also granted £100. But you'll also remember somewhere else. Sorry, World Child was the one that there was a query over because when I investigated it, they were a Cheltenham-based organisation. Malcolm then put me in touch with a local fundraiser in Park Road, and the fundraiser in Park Road, I spoke to her and said, who do you actually support in Brent Knoll? And she said, nobody, the nearest support that we give is in Bristol. So as a result of that, I decided to bring it back to the meeting to see whether you wanted still to, and again it's a matter for you, but whether you still wanted to continue with that grant, or whether you felt that it wasn't appropriate because it wasn't a local interest organisation.
I would propose that we don't make a grant.
No, I would agree.
So therefore, is that unanimous?
Yeah.
No, not really, because Malcolm bothers to get dressed up as Father Christmas, and I mean, if we can entertain some kids.
What exactly do they do?
They support children that have difficult backgrounds and also autism and various other worthy causes. But of course, under our section 137, when it says very clearly is that we're going to give a 137 grant, it must actually support the local community, local benefit. Now, all the others that we do have a local benefit, including, of course, our normal CAB contribution, and we're going to consider the amended community transport. Now we have some more definite figures on that. That's the reason why the grants are there. We're not at liberty as a council just to give grants to anybody that would perhaps feel, oh yeah, they seem like a good organisation.
The kids come to Brent
No,
No,
they don't.
Oh.
there's nothing.
The nearest supporting family that this lady in Park Road knows is Bristol, that's supported by the charity.
I can't see that we can justify it. The definition of
It would have been very easy if we just forget it and just pay them, but I just felt we needed to investigate it a bit more.
Unfortunately, if it's
Have we got grants elsewhere?
I think we have. I think we've got grant considerations after the end of the accounting statements.
Thank you. Yeah.
So I need a proposal second for the payments then, other than the ones we've already discussed with Bella out of the room. So that's the main payments plus the grants.
I'll propose that.
Okay.
All in favour?
All in favour? Everybody? Peter?
Unanimous.
Okay, fine. Now the next bit on the agenda is the annual audit. Now we've got new auditors this year which have been appointed by the government to do external auditors, and like all organisations it's a new broom that sweeps clean. So therefore they're making sure that they're making their mark as far as their audit is concerned. So the paperwork that I've now had to download has been an enormous amount of work, of paper which we haven't done before. But I've found my way through it, and we've got to the state now whether our books can be audited by Richard Young in the forthcoming week. But we need to do two things really. We need to agree with all the paperwork we've got. We need to agree on the governance statement. Now the governance statement, again, I could go through the whole document, but frankly you'd be here till midnight. But basically what it does, it confirms that we've maintained adequate systems. And obviously our general purpose group, we meet 4 times a year, are there to make sure those systems are in place. Not to make sure the figures are right, but to make sure the systems are there to support our governance statement. It deals with things like, for example, we took appropriate action on all matters raised in reports from internal and external audit. So anything that cropped up last year, which in this case didn't apply because there weren't any issues, but if I had it done, we'd have had to address them with the council and get you to approve that those changes have been put in place. So, for example, if there was a query last year from our previous auditor that we hadn't done this, that or the other, you'd have to make sure this year that we've put those things in place and vote on it in a resolution to say that you're happy that work has been done. That didn't apply last year because there were no issues. There were the previous year, which I righted, but we weren't asked this question the previous year. So, in a way, we've dealt with it. We've considered whether any litigation liability or commitments on the council. And again, we're looking at this all the time. When we have our general purpose group, if there are any issues, we will bring them to the council and put them before you. So I think we have got adequate systems in place, that's my view. And Richard needs to sign the governance statement to that effect with your resolution that you're going to approve. So that's the first. We need a separate minute on that to the next bit, which I'm going to give you in a second.
So the question is, are members happy that
Without
our general
saying-
purpose group sets is an appropriate mechanism to monitor all the systems that we have in place to ensure that we are doing things in an appropriate manner?
There's just one other thing I want to say. That on the number 9, it says, for local councils, trust funds, including charitable and our capacity as a sole managing trust, we discharge our accountability responsibilities. Now, this has always been NA, because we didn't know what was happening to our charities account in the past. We had such a mess with it when I inherited it from Michael that, for years we didn't actually know what actually existed there. I've still kept it as NA because, frankly, it's going to be a massive job if I now start putting down a charitable fund, which wasn't there 2 years ago or last year. I'm not quite sure how we go about that. I'm going to ask Richard Young, the internal auditor, tomorrow how he would go about it. But at the moment, I'm dismissing it as we've done in the last 10 years.
How much is in the
£686. So, which sits there and we don't use it. We have no real purpose for it actually.
Well, should we wind it up?
Could it be
That's a
used
consideration we need to
for something?
look at in the future.
The trustees are.
Brian, Bob, myself.
Best to ask.
Could we not?
I'll ask Richard.
I would suggest that we ask Richard Young.
How we
But
go about
we
it?
could ask the trustees
Yes,
to close it.
we could. And I think provided we do that before next financial year end, then we've probably solved our problem. But I think if it runs another year, then I think we've got to do something about it. It's about the only thing that perhaps, we haven't complied with totally on the governance statement. Because we do actually have a charities account.
As we have charities, are we registered with the Charities Commission?
No. We were, but we're not any longer. And the reason for that is because we couldn't get access to our account for so many years, I wasn't able to do a proper report on it.
So effectively it's defunct, it's
Defunct account.
defunct by...
So the best thing to do
The
is...
funds are there and they can be put back into our normal
Yes.
account.
But I believe that to be legally proper, the trustees would need to come forward with a resolution
Yeah.
to close the thing and transfer the money into whatever you want to transfer it into.
It could be, because it was originally for the poor of the village. That was the reason why it was set up many, many moons ago.
Toilet block fund.
686 divided by 4 of us.
So if you're happy, then
Can we have a vote on your content that I sign this, please?
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
So if you could just sign there, Richard, in that box. No dates or anything at this stage.
So that's the resolution B.
That's resolution B, yes. That's a
Just
government
A.
statement. A, is the reason why it's the wrong way around the agenda, because we must do the governance statement first,
Yeah.
and then the accounting statement second.
Right, okay.
And they'll need to be minuted consecutively. So
Right.
the accounting statement, again, it's almost impossible for you to look at that now and say, yes, it's all correct. All I can say is that the accounts that I'm going to give you in a second, and in fact I might be able to do that first actually, the accounts show those figures exactly. So I'll pass the accounts for them. I think Bob, I think Richard won earlier. If you could pass them around to John. There's a set of accounts there for the parish council. Which is actually A, which is correct. What you should actually have is that first, then then the governance statement, and then the accounting statement. So that's how it should be done. So you've got the accounts in front of you, and
Oh, sorry.
so I just run through. Basically, I put some notes to the accounts as well, just as a little bit of a sort of narrative on what's happened this year. It takes the form of two documents really, the actual accounts themselves, which show our receipts and our payments, and comparison with the previous year. Okay? And then there's the balancing statement, which tells you how our finances currently look in terms of our opening balance at the beginning of the year, what payments we made, what receipts we've had in, the receipts over payments, and it works its way down, and then it sits alongside our actual statement, which all tallies with the bottom line. So if you go straight to the bottom, it says closing balance at March 31st. That is a duplicate exactly of our statement. Our statement shows 34,993, and it's made up of our council reserve operational money, funds that we can use, and our fixed reserves. And fixed reserves currently 14,095.53 in the red at the bottom. And our operational funds are 20,104.40, and those two together total 34,199.93. So we have operational funds of 20,000 and fixed reserves of 14,000. And those fixed reserves are made up of clerk's gratuity, the election fund, the solar community grant, Nuttall bench kiosk refurbishment, which of course that will be paid once we've got the work done, and then the SIL fund, community infrastructure levy. So all of those make up the fixed reserves. We have no unpaid accounts, but we have an outstanding liability of 550 for the kiosk repainting. So that's something we've agreed and confirmed, but has yet to be paid. I think, Colin, you raised this last time when we had the memorials work done, that we were paying out a large sum of money, but we hadn't actually made any provision for it. So we've now made provision for that in there. So that's the balancing statement. And on the last page, I've identified all the large expenditure we've had during the year in detail. So the Hills Levels project, which was the big one, was 23,000, made up of the 2 grants plus the inward payment from one of the residents, the Parish Council and the roof drainage grants. Gardening, Wellstone masonry, premier fencing, all stuff that we spent during the last year. So that's not really an official document, it's more a help to you to see where we... What do you want to know?
Yes, I haven't got one of those.
Well, you know, has everybody else got that? I mean, please take this document and read it. If you have any queries, anything you don't fully understand, or you'd like more questions to ask on it, please do.
How do you feel that it's gone compared to previous years this year?
It's very much on a par, actually.
Yeah.
Brian, I think the one thing that distorted this year, and one thing that I found difficult when it came to doing the audit, was we had this massive grant come in for the water levels project from the previous year, and we spent it in this financial year. And of course I've had to explain to the auditors why that happened like that, because they will query it if I don't put it down. So, but that's the only anomaly in this year's. And we've done slightly better on income because we've spent a lot of money on big projects. We've had a better VAT reclaim, which means that's gone up. And of course we've had the SIL grants, which have also come in as new money. So technically we've done, better actually than we had in previous years. So the 20,000, which is the operating money, that's the cash that we have available to us for running the council primarily, and then obviously new works as and when they're approved. I mean, obviously our precept payment will come in this month. We'll have our first precept payment of about 15 grand. So that will boost our finance immediately to about 35. So
The contingency fund seems rather small.
the contingency funds for,
On the village expenditure.
Where is it?
On the
yeah, that's what was agreed for the precept.
Yeah.
What is it?
£204.53.
Where is that one?
Where is it? Top of the third page, fourth page.
304.
Last got one.
I'm sure we're talking about.
What are you talking about, Brian? Because on mine, 2018-18, we had no figure for contingency. We had £18 for last year.
Yeah. There's no contingency figure at all.
It's, well, the last got one page,
About 300.
top,
Oh, that contingency.
yeah.
We've got 3
Yeah, 304. That's all we actually used this year. In other words, £304 is what we used on an item that wasn't actually budgeted for in some other way. I can't tell you what that was offhand, but I can probably do that for you. Yeah, it was a small amount, actually, right? But I think the contingency will increase next year to 1,000, I think.
Because it was less than half last year. Was it that on the
Yeah.
yeah.
On here, we have nothing in there for contingency, have we?
No.
We have £18.
That's right, yeah. So, yeah. There's two types of contingency. There's the council administration contingency and there's also a maintenance contingency.
Operational contingency as
We
well.
didn't use any of the council administration contingency at all. We used £304 of the main village maintenance. It's relatively simple set of accounts because what it does, it shows the income, it shows our expenditure, it shows what our bank started at, shows what the bank finished at, and all those figures should all tie up. I can tell you they all do add up to the final figure. After a bit of a battle of getting the figures from different sources to get the right, because because we use spreadsheets for accounting, it means that we don't have enough columns to put all the various. So what I tend to do is go back to the cash book that comes to the account and then pick them off the cash book so I know which has been spent where.
For Brian's clarification, we actually had £750 in our budget for contingency, and of that 750 we have spent £304.53.
Yeah.
So we effectively have over-budgeted contingency.
Yeah.
So it's not, I don't think it's an issue, Brian.
No, I just said that was all.
Yes, it's a fair point, Brian, and the other thing was we do get now, which we pay bank charges now, which we never used to pay, of course. So that's basically the accounts. As I say, if you have any queries as a result of leaving the meeting and you want to, do call me, do contact me. If anything you're not entirely clear about, I'm happy with. But subject to that, are you happy to approve the accounts as you see them?
Yeah.
All those in favour, please. Unanimous.
In which case, then we can.
Are you happy for me to sign
So,
this? Or sign this next document?
what do we do?
Third page.
Good.
Yes.
There's contingents.
Sign the chain, yeah. And that one there. Now, the process is now that this audit will be internally audited by Richard Young, whose job it will be to check that the balances that I claim on here are the balances that appear in all our cash books and all our various documents, checkbooks, etc., etc. He will then sign it off, and once he's then signed it off, I would then need to add some documentation to it, explaining why we've got variances in one or two areas. For example, high levels of income and high levels of expenditure. I will need to identify why that is. That will then go off to the external auditor, who will then come back to us if they have any queries on our accounts. And that's basically what the process comes down to. But, it's important that you're happy with it because, of course, ultimately, as a council, you are responsible for it.
Well, Chairman, I don't know whether I'll ask now or under the parish meeting bit, but in terms of what we give to the public,
Yes.
will that be this document or will it be a different document? Because at the moment, there's nothing in there showing what our budget was as compared with what we actually spent.
You're talking about the grants, you mean?
No,
for the public meeting next
for the
week.
public
Oh,
meeting,
see.
yeah, for the budget, you normally make figures available for.
Yes, that's right. Now, I can do that. I mean, I've only done it 1 year out about the last 5 or 6 actually. But I can certainly do it if you feel it's important for me to go. And I'm happy to do it. I'm more than happy to do
We
it.
had that last time, which is the March.
That's right. Yeah.
So that would do, wouldn't it?
It would do. It would do. Yeah. Yeah.
We've got it.
Yeah.
It's just make it available.
Can make it available to people. I mean, I can make the accounts themselves available. Actually,
They
that's
are.
the difference.
I'm even out of it, but I think it was just if this was going to be the document,
Yeah, exactly.
people wouldn't
I-
see the budget that we were actually working to.
Sure. Okay. Well, I'll get some. I'll get a budget and also a copy of the accounts pinged together. You never know how many people are going to turn up. Over the years, I've wasted so much paper.
Well, do we need
Clearing
to
out.
actually produce copies for everybody? Can we not just have a copy available? for
Well, I
those
think
who
if
wish
I do about a dozen copies, it should cover
Copy on the
everybody.
screen. Have a copy on the
Well,
screen.
will we have a screen? No, I'm not sure. Will we have a screen? I don't think we will. I
Is
don't
it
know what
worth
Chris
it?
Burnham's going to bring, is it?
We could borrow those from somebody, couldn't we?
We could probably.
What's Chris going to do? Is he doing a presentation?
I'll find out from Chris whether he's going to do a presentation on it. If he is,
John Page has got a screen to do it for my music videos.
I'll say alternatively, I can just print a dozen copies off, and if anybody wants a copy that hasn't got one, if they let me know, I'll send them one in the post.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, that's fine.
Is that all?
So that's everything there, I think. Then we come on to grant considerations, basically.
Before you move on, can I just say thank you to Owen, because I think it's been a particularly complex
Complex.
process.
Yeah.
More so than
I
usual,
agree.
certainly. I mean, next year will be easier because we've done 1 year of it.
Yeah.
I have to say that ours is the first one that Richard's getting for internal audit. I mean, he's amazed I managed to get the accounts on the 3rd of April. After the March 31st deadline, he was very surprised when I rang him up and said, can you do our audit for us? So I'm pleased to get it out of the way and get it done, really, to be honest with
Shows
you.
you're efficient, which is good.
Yeah. So that's that.
So grant considerations.
Grant consideration. We had the ceramic poppy project. The ladies came last time.
Can we do it in reverse?
Yeah.
Mendip Community Transport. We asked last time about, or we had information last time on usage. I thought we had a vote on it actually. But
We did say that they'd applied for it previously. We then went back and asked them for more information. They came back with more information and said we'd consider it on the agenda because it wasn't on the agenda last month.
They tried last year also in terms of
Yeah. They said there were 56 users of the service in Brent Knoll during the last 12 months.
they didn't say
they have done what is something like 500 or 600, 5 to 600 journeys.
Yeah. So,
I like to propose that we forget them.
sorry, forget.
Forget them, yes.
Right.
Deny them their request.
Right.
Does anybody have a different view?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'll make it. Was going to propose that we gave them £50 only on the basis that obviously at the moment we don't have community transport beyond what they're doing. And if we are at some point maybe going to get something more, it probably doesn't do us any harm to have been supporting them over time.
I agree.
But I wouldn't want to do more than 50 quid.
Can
It's
I
a token as much as anything.
come back in and give you a reason why I won't support it? Is the fact that when they give the presentation, they do charge for that they actually run the buses for the Blue School at Wells. And they're the contractors for getting the kids to school.
Yeah.
Well, the Blue School may pay for it then.
They do.
Yeah, well that's fair enough then, but
Surely that's
we
not-
are, people in this village don't have any transport and
Yeah.
they are using Mendip to get themselves to and fro. And we're just being asked to subsidise.
Well, there is a Sedgemoor Slinky bus or a Sedgemoor.
The Slinky bus is the
Mendip
Mendip one.
Transport.
Well, there's now a Sedgemoor.
There's Central Community Transport.
Yeah.
They approached us for funding a couple of years ago and they didn't send very much information at all, so we've not supported them, but there's no
There is
Central.
Sedgemoor, not in Mendip.
Is it still going?
Yes, but they tend to operate mainly out of the sort of western Zoyland, south of Sedgemoor, rather than the north. Mendip covers this patch more than the Sedgemoor one does. But they're not associated with the districts.